Hey, Mark Lambert here in the Sweet Swine of Mine Distributing Test Kitchen. We got Holly back here today, and Holly didn't really realize up front, but she's an Asian food or Chinese food aficionado, and she'll tell you why.
Well, okay, so we started working at a Chinese restaurant when I was 16. And we were making, the biggest thing in Springfield, Missouri was cashew chicken. Now we did sweet and sour chicken and chicken chop suey and egg foo young and all that stuff. But 9 out of 10 times people would come in asking for cashew chicken. The cashew chicken in Springfield is very different from any that you have anywhere else.
I didn't know they'd let you work in a Chinese restaurant if you weren't Asian or Chinese.
No one was Asian in this restaurant.
Really?
No one. No one. It was owned by a retired Marine Corps drill sergeant named Cliff, and he would scare the crap out of us. So being 16 years old...
So where did he learn how to cook Chinese?
I don't know. I think he bought it from someone else.
Oh, okay. They just taught him.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing today is the Springfield, Missouri style cashew chicken.
So it's like country style fried chicken with cashew gravy.
Right. Right.
That's the way you described it earlier.
Right.
That sounds awesome.
It's like little bite-sized country style chicken, or like fried chicken.
Mm-hmm.
And then you put it on a bed of rice, and you put some oyster sauce on top, and then sprinkle some cashews and onions, and you go to town.
So the process is?
So the process that we're doing right now is we're going to toss it in flour, and we're going to let it sit for 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then after we let it sit for 15 minutes in the flour, then we toss it in a milk bath and let it sit in that. It's milk and egg.
Mm-hmm.
Let it sit in that for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to toss it again in flour, and then we're going to deep fry it in peanut oil.
So it's poofy and crispy?
Yes.
Okay. So what kind of chicken are you using?
I am just using, I did a mixture of chicken breast and chicken thighs, and that way you get some dark and white, because I always like the white meat, but I've grown accustomed to the chicken thighs thanks to you. I never ate chicken thighs until I met you. So that's what we're using.
Okay.
Just chicken thighs and chicken breast.
So we're going to toss this in here, and we're going to take it out, let it sit 15 minutes.
Right, and
Awesome.
that's it. So we got a lot of it here, because if you're going to make this, you better make it. Okay?
It's good leftover.
Because it takes time to make it, but it's good as a leftover.
Okay.
So you just toss some in, get it coated, and then take it out and put it over here to sit for 15 minutes. I'll let you bread things more often.
I like to fry.
So now we can save this for later so we can re-bread it before we fry it.
Yep. Just keep it cold because you may have some bits left in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go.
That's it.
Bam. On to the next step. Step 2.
Step 2. Okay, so it has been 15 minutes that the chicken has sat with the flour on it. And as you can see, it's just a light coating of flour. So now we're going to put it into the mixture of the milk bath.
What was the amount you told me on this time?
It's going to be, for every 1 pound of chicken, you're going to use 1 egg, 1/4 cup of milk, and some salt and pepper.
For every 1 pound?
For every 1 pound, that's all you're going to use. Okay? Stir it all up, get it all good and stirred. You can see sort of the eggs are mixing up there a little bit. So you want to get it all stirred in. And then you dunk the chicken in here. And you get it all in here, and just sort of toss it through. And then it's going to sit in this mixture for 10 minutes. And then after 10 minutes, we dunk it back through the flour mixture again, and then we deep fry it in peanut oil.
So this is, you're making the flour stick to the raw chicken, you're hydrating the flour that's stuck on,
That's right.
and then you're tossing it to get the outside coating.
Right. And they should come out nice and moist.
This way it's a fluffier outside of the chicken that causes more flour to stick, I guess.
Right.
Deep frying 101.
There's nothing like deep fried chicken. If you need some comfort food, it's deep fried chicken.
Mm-hmm.
And see, the chicken's not sticking to each other because of the flour and the cornstarch together. Now what we did first also was we sort of tossed this before I put it in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. Keep going. And then you're going to let it sit in this for about 10 minutes just to get it good and moist. Over there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you ever like playing with Play-Doh, it has that feel.
Yeah, it does have that little slimy kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
Gonna be good stuff though.
You've been slimed.
There we go.
That's it.
It's all coated, nothing dry on the outside.
Oh,
15 minutes?
10 minutes in
10
this,
minutes, okay.
and then we're going to coat it again in the flour and get it on the fryer.
Step 3 for cashew chicken.
Yep.
The final breading.
Yes. So all you're going to do, you're going to take it out of your milk bath, and you're going to toss it in the flour. And all this is a little flour. We added a little flour to what we had left over from before, and you just toss it in, put it over here in the pan, and then we take it over and we deep fry it. That's it.
So, what's your typical deep fry time and temp?
I don't know.
It's just 350. Everything
fry
fries
it.
at 350.
You
I
fry
mean,
it at 350 until you see it start getting brown and floating a little bit, and then it's done.
brown and floating.
Yeah.
These little pieces are going to brown up and they're going to cook through pretty quickly.
Quick.
Yeah.
Now, what you might want to do is take one out, cut through it, see if it's done, and then you can sort of gauge, because everyone's fryer is a little bit different.
But as long as you stick in that 350 range, when they float and they're brown, they're usually pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. We're gonna batter the rest of these up, and we're gonna start the frying process, and we're one step closer to eating.
So now we're going to do the oyster sauce for the cashew chicken. So what you do is you pour in. Can you hear me? You pour in your chicken broth. You're going to leave a little bit of broth out and put it separate into a container, because you're going to mix this with some cornstarch. The cornstarch is going to be thickening it in. So you wait for this to boil, and while you're waiting, you go ahead and you mix the cornstarch and the cold chicken broth together. Now you can do one of two things. If you have chicken broth, you use it. If you want to use chicken bouillon, you can do that too. And a lot of restaurants, they use the chicken bouillon in water because, quite frankly, it takes less space. So you can go ahead and get this ready and just let it sit. Once the chicken broth starts boiling, then you want to add in your cornstarch to get it thickening. And then you're going to add some sugar and some salt and some oyster flavor sauce. And this is the one we're using. Can you see that? The oyster sauce. Okay? And it's a real quick process. Once it's done, you're just going to put this on a very low heat just to keep it warm. And then when you have chicken all fried, you pour this on top. This is what makes the cashew chicken taste like cashew chicken. Otherwise, it would just be chicken nuggets. It's starting to. All right, here we go. Now we used a coarse grain salt because that's what we had available. And if you can see this, it's starting to thicken. That's what you want. You want it to be a good gravy. And since it's starting to thicken, then you can add your sugar in. And at the very end, you add your oyster sauce. And it's about a teaspoon of oyster sauce for every 1 cup of gravy. And then, of course, it's to taste. If you want more, add more. That's it.
We're finally here. The culmination of all of the things coming together. So, chicken's fried rice is done.
Yep. Now we're going to pour the sauce
Awesome.
on top. The sauce just goes over the chicken.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we need to make more sauce because we
will. That's easy enough.
of chicken.
You guys see how easy that was. And there's your cashews.
Sprinkle some cashews on top. And then put some green onions on top of that.
There in the back.
That's it.
Look at that, y'all. If you could taste this, you'd be so excited like I am. This is really, really good. And this is going to be on my menu for a special event, for a special holiday.
Christmas.
Maddie already likes it. She approves already, so it's going down. So get you some cashew chicken. Holly Jubera in the house with some really good comfort food recipes.
Yep.
We're going to bring you a few more. Thanks for watching. Y'all subscribe to our channel. It's the Sweet Swine of Mine Distributing YouTube channel. And go like our Facebook page at Sweet Swine of Mine Distributing. Like us, look up Mark Lambert, look up Holly Jubera on Facebook. Instagram, what's your name?
Holly Jubera.
Holly Jubera Instagram, and Sweet Swine of Mine Instagram.
Hurry, because I want to eat.
Do it. Peace out.